Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Ghost. Hope you can hear me okay. Please let me know if I'm coming through clear or choppy. Okay, perfect. It's good news. All right, so 7 minutes and news is dropping on unemployment claims for the dollar. Um, Anytime we have news for the dollar, I'm sure you guys know by now, but you want to always look at the major pairs. All right, so every pair that has the dollar in it or any indice or commodity that is correlated with the dollar is what you guys want to be taking a look at. So we'll be taking a look at, obviously, gold, the indices, and like the main majors, right? Euro USD, AUD USD, Pound USD, etc. Right? But we got to do this fast. So again, I believe the dollar is going to rise. Here it is on the daily. I'm just going to adjust my high and my low of the previous day, which is here. All right. So basically, from this day, yesterday we actually broke the previous day's low, right? And we even broke a low here. So, the dollar was falling clearly all yesterday. Now we've ran into this support area where there's an order block on the lower time frame and prices started to rise. So because of that, and again, looking at this from a higher time frame, we have run, consolidation, run, deep pullback, and then another run, pullback, run, and this is all the pullback. So I believe we should have another run um, this morning. Now, unemployment news was 231,000. They're forecasting it to go down to 219,000. So if it goes lower than 219,000, that's going to be good. That means less people are claiming unemployment. So less people have, not necessarily that they haven't lost their job, but just they haven't, filed for unemployment pretty much. Um, and so actual less than forecasted is good. So yeah, we got 5 minutes to determine if news will come out lower or if the results will come out lower than 219,000. So let's hurry up and get down to the 15-minute time frame. All right. And on the RSI, we had divergence. All right. So this was, earlier, yesterday. And here, is the two areas on the RSI where price is making higher lows on the RSI versus lower lows on the chart. All right. So we got divergence. But let me clean this up. Guys, just pull up your pairs because, again, even though news is going to hit, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get super, super major movement, but it does mean that, we will see some kind of activity on the dollar. So here we are with our high and our low. And if we're looking at the 15-minute, here we can pretty much see in the Asian session, we didn't do anything, but now in the London session, we've pushed up. So if I'm expecting price to go up, typically it will manipulate down first, okay? And then it'll give us some kind of chart pattern to catch it to the upside. So as I'm looking at this in detail, I can see, I have a fair value gap right here. Excuse me. So here, morning to you. All right, that we could pretty much tap into. Okay, yep. You have a little bit of a order block here. I see some fair value gaps here, another order block here. So we'll see. I'll let price do its thing. Because we have a low and a high, right? I can place Fibonacci as well, just to give us some more insight. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to set a few alerts above price because, again, I believe that the dollar is going to rise. I think unemployment claims will come out lower than expected, but we got to wait and see because what if they come out higher than expected? Then that means the dollar should drop. And in that case, we'll be looking to do things like buy gold, um, buy Euro USD, buy the indices, right? So our last session yesterday, we ended up buying gold. Gold took off that day, but we missed the indices, and they were huge yesterday. So we'll try not to miss that this morning. But to be honest with you, you guys will probably have to stick around until past 9:30 so we can see we can have the stock market open and really see how the indices are going to move for the day. And it's best always to NAS and US 30 and those SPY. You want to trade those during that 9:30 time frame if you're on the East Coast. um, an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours later, depending on if you're out further west. But we got 2 minutes left. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at Euro USD. So again, if we're expecting dollar to go up, we're expecting Euro USD to go down, and that's what it looks like, right? So you had a nice push down. Prices near this order block right now. All right, it's all up in there, and I got to get this. All right, boom, that's better. So here, we're rejecting this order block, and we're starting to get price to come down. So let's go to the 15-minute, and we want to see if we can spot the manipulation. All right. So here, I'm gonna get rid of this order block because it's just heavy on this time frame. But here we can see, right, that we just consolidated, and now we're pushing down, okay? But again, if the dollar is going to rise, then the euro should fall. So we typically want to see it manipulate up first, all right? Give us some sort of pattern, and then, we'll take it on the way down. But as of right now, I don't really see uh, what price is. Actually, this is more of a little channel. 37 seconds, guys, and we're about to find out what's going on. Again, if you're new to my live, please hit the like and subscribe button for me. Really appreciate that love, guys. All right, this is a bullish reversal pattern, this falling channel. Again, it's pretty, small on the 15-minute time frame, but the concept remains the same. All right, I'll put a few alerts on both sides as we have about, well, it's time. So we're going to see what it's going to do. Let's head over to the dollar really quick. And here we are. So it came out higher, 222,000. All right. So unemployment claims came out higher, and that is bad. Okay. But look, we're just getting a small little push down. It's no major push down. All right. So let me turn this off because it's just the news. All right. Boom. What do you know? We're rejecting that fair value gap, and we're starting to push up. So it seems like even though news came out worse than expected, we're still getting the dollar to rise a bit here. But again, we're just right at 8:30. You really won't know you know what's happened until after the dust has settled, right? So you just want to give it time. That's really all that is. If you wait, a good 15, 20, 30 minutes, you'll have a few candles on these lower time frames that have developed, that have formed, right? That have opened and closed. So you can see, oh yeah, it pushed up or it's deciding to go up. Notice I didn't set any alerts to the downside because I didn't feel like we were in a downtrend. Well, I didn't feel like we were going down, let's say that. And the only alerts that are getting hit are my alerts for price rising up. All right, so we know news now that it came out worse than expected. So more people are claiming unemployment, which is not a good thing. So technically, the dollar should go down. So maybe, guys, just maybe, we're getting the manipulation to the upside right now. Okay, and then later throughout the day, maybe the dollar will start to fall. Okay, so because of that, I'll take off my Fibonacci. All right, so if that's going to be the case, then we simply need to look left to see where price is most likely going to tap into. All right, so from where price is, I'm looking left, and here's a swing right here on top of a resistance area. You guys can see it was support in the past, then it became resistance, and there we are. So here's a fair value gap. Even though we've tapped into this fair value gap already, I'll just mark it out. It's right here, and kaboom. Okay, so um, what could happen, all right, when we go back to higher time frame, and now you guys can kind of see how this is more, we'll get rid of this for now, all right. So what you guys can tell is how we have more of a pullback to a downtrend, all right. So here we're looking at the run, a little pullback, a run, and this is a pullback. So again, what I want to do is I want to find a high and a low to place my Fibonacci. Okay, there's your high, there's the low. And what do you know? The golden zone is right above that fair value gap that we have on the lower time frame. So if I bring it down to the 30 minutes, okay, now you guys can kind of see where Fibonacci is saying that price can potentially head towards. So I'm going to clean up Fibonacci just a little bit on this time frame because it's pretty heavy. Let's do it like right about there. Okay, there it is. All right, so um, yeah, this is where dollar could push up to before it decides to fall. And then here we have a better fair value gap right there. All right, let me get this in so you guys can really see. Okay, it's right there. And again, still fair value gap right around the 50. All right, so we got two fair value gaps. So pretty much, guys, what I'm saying is that price could push up to this area, potentially fall. It can push up to this fair value gap area here, right, and potentially fall. And then it can also push up to the fair value gap here, maybe hitting the 61 fib level and then fall. All right. So these are some of the things that we want to see happen before we get into any potential opportunity. So guys, even though we're up and we're, analyzing, that doesn't necessarily mean that the chart, the chart is going to be ready for us to get into a trade, right? You know what I mean? So you have to know how to, get in here and be cool and, not rush yourself to get into stuff because you want to make money, right? You could have easily, saw that the news was bad and said, okay, well, the dollar's going to fall, and you just start taking trades based off of that. But if the chart's not really showing you, what you need to see, then, you're kind of hopping in prematurely, right? So again, it's all about patience and, waiting to see your setup, unfold and show you what you need to see to get in. All right. So for right now, we're just marking up everything. to see if dollar's going to fall or rise. But right now, you can see, guys, we didn't get a lot of movement from that, right? So uh, chances are, right, we need to uh, really come back around that 9:30 time frame because stock market would open, all the security markets will be open around the world. Well, not around the world, but we'll just be in the groove of having everything moving, and we'll see better price action to where we can say, okay, yes, this is definitely going down, or this is definitely going up, and we'll start to look for our opportunities. All right, but gonna let dollar do its thing, and we're gonna go and look at some of the other majors and commodities and indices. All right, but I have my eye on gold for a sell. All right, so euro, look, euro started to drop. Okay, so again, we'll see. What's going to go on, but I think it's just going to take some time. All right, so again, guys, just be patient. Your opportunities do come, um, and it's not always um, best, right when news drops anyway. All right. But, I can see that just wasn't major movement. So I'm not worried that price is going to do something crazy now because if it was, it would have done it by now. You know what I mean? So, uh, looks like we're going to have pretty much smooth sailing for the rest of the day, which is really, really good. All right. But euro, dropping a little bit on that 15-minute time frame. Gold. All right. Let's see. Yep, gold is dropping now. Gold is the one that I really want to take for a sell. Okay, you guys can see here, we pretty much kind of almost got to that 2400 mark, right? And again, I think it's going to drop. So anytime, you have a bias of, whatever direction price is going to go in, typically, if you have the market structure correct, right? If you're reading it right, then how things typically go is that it manipulates up first and then it goes down. All right. And the same vice versa. If you're thinking price is going to go up because of structure and what you see on the charts, technically, it'll typically manipulate down first before it rises up. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to kind of go and manipulate up, and then I'm gonna, see that I have my opportunity to sell gold. But guys, looking at gold, I mean, man, this looks like a huge double top. All right, so just a nice run coming down, and then boom, and then this is what I'm expecting, like this, possibly all the way down to some of these levels, and here, right? You just never know, but definitely at least to this area, and we're talking. Let's see. $85 move on gold. All right, that is bananas. Okay, 860 pips. All right, and you do not know how long that'll take, but what you can do, right? This is a little key thing, when people want to know how long, do you think a move like that will take? Well, just look left, and you see this is the exact same move from here to here in the opposite direction. So you just measure that out, right? So from that low to that high, it took 12 days to get a $112 dollar move on gold, right? That's just what, 2 weeks, right? So if you get into the sell now, right, then 2 weeks later, around that time is where you can pretty much bank on almost 100 point move on gold, right? And that's 1,000 pips. All right, it's bananas. All right, gold will get you paid if you know how to play. All right. So looking at it from a lower time frame, let me get this off for a second. Yeah, we'll take it off. Oh yeah, gold is looking really good. Um, this is what I was waiting on yesterday because we had divergence on gold. It's just I jumped the gun a little bit and it kept pushing up on me, so I sold it from the order block here, and I was wanting it to go down, but it pushed up and then tapped into this order block, and now it's pushing down. But the way I'm looking at the highs that were made, and then I pull up the RSI, and now you guys can see there's clear divergence here, right? So on the chart, price is making higher highs. On the RSI, we're making lower highs. All right, guys, and we just got our golden cross on the RSI. So, uh, this RSI line has crossed that gold line, so it's like a little signal, right? And they're starting to curve down. But guys, I'm gonna take gold for this sell because this is what I've been waiting on. Have a few things already telling me to do so. Now, the only thing that conflicts, okay, and this is a catchy thing, but the only thing that conflicts is that the dollar is correlated with gold, and the news came out for the dollar negative, but you can see dollar never really fell, right? It can still fall, but so far it hasn't fell. And we also have bullish divergence on the dollar. So the opposite of what we see here on gold, where price was making higher highs and the RSI was making lower highs. On the dollar, price was making lower lows, but on the RSI, it was making higher lows. So this is basically saying that the dollar should rise. So the chart really tells me that the dollar wants to rise, but news told me that the dollar should fall. So what am I going to go with? Well, I think I'm going to run with the charts for now, right? Because even when news came out, there wasn't a significant push to the downside, which it should have been if news was so bad. Get what I'm saying? Again, guys, this is how you put it together, right? So if you're trying to understand, please hear me out because a lot of times it becomes that kind of situation where you just got to pick, which one seems to be more impactful, right? And that news has not moved anything. Typically, my alerts will be going off like crazy, right? I'll be seeing the actual movement on the lower time frame, just whether it wants to wick up and down or push heavy down, push heavy up. I will see that. But since I haven't, it's like we had no news. It was nothing that really happened. So I'm gonna go with the charts. All right. Now again, it's not you know completely what the dollar is showing that it's going to rise, 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 right? You got to get above this resistance. You got to get above this fair value gap. You got to get above pretty much this swing high over here. But in order to do that, right, it has to go up. You know what I mean? So if I'm just going to take my chances on it going up, well, why not, just do it now, right? You know what I mean? Especially when the chart looks so good for it to drop. Now, here's the kicker. So I'm trying to get to that point. I might have been rambling, but here, right, this is where price broke resistance over here, this high. So it broke that, tapped into the order block, and we're starting to turn around. But you can see that this will now act as support, okay? So with it acting as support, we could easily rise up from here. So I'm afraid of that, right? You know what I mean? I don't want to sell it right now, and price just reverses on me because again, look at what happened, right? If I wanted to sell, we sell high. So I missed the opportunity to sell it off of the order block and catch it on the way down. And if I did that, I would have had, roughly from here to about here, look, 100 pips just off of that move to the downside. But guess what? It's already gone down. So it's already gone down 100 pips. So I don't want to sell it low. I want it to sell it high. Again, you guys have to always make sure that this is what you're doing when you're selling or if you're buying, right? You're selling high and you're buying low. So now that it's at the low or it's pushed down and it's at the support, which is a low, typically you want to kind of buy it. Okay. So again, it's just more waiting that I'm going to have to do because it's not concrete on the chart that price is ready to fall, right? It has turned around from this order block. Yes, it does have bearish divergence. Yes, it has been rising for a very long time. And, a pullback or a potential reversal is overdue, but I just I don't have it yet. And somebody's out there saying, well, what the hell do you need? What is it that you need to see to get into a sell on gold? I'm glad you asked, right? It needs to be a break of this support area, okay? Showing that, price is definitely, the bears are in the market, right? That's what that's showing. That's strength, okay? To break something, right? To break levels is showing strength. So we broke support and now we pull back and we respect it as resistance. Maybe we tap into a fair value gap or order block something, right? This is, 2 hour time frame, but I don't see anything, but still maybe we just push back a little bit and then the bears show up. Guys, if structure starts to paint like this, oh, it's a go, right? I'm selling here. I can get away with a tight stop if I wanted to, but typically, when you go very tight, it does a little hunt, takes you out, and then goes in your direction, right? So instead of just putting it right here, I'm going to put it right here. And with that, again, I can either here or here, but anywhere up here is safer than just putting it behind that current swing, okay? Because a easy little boop like that, and then it can go and head down, and you'll be, pretty pissed, right? We had this happen to us yesterday or Tuesday, on some JPY pairs. They pushed up a little bit, took us out, and then completely tanked on the way down, right? So again, I've seen it, and that's why I'm trying to educate you guys, excuse me, to make sure that you get your stop above a previous swing, preferably. All right. Again, it's your prerogative. Do what you want, but I'm just trying to teach you how to survive, certain setups. All right. But that's what I would need to see on goals. So I need to wait, and I hate that, but I know what it is. It's going to bring me the best results. So I don't really hate it like that, right? It's just, you know, it's my money. I want it now, right? We all just want to get it right now. So let's see what the dollar's doing. And now we're getting rejection. I see a little wick, right? So I see that wick right there. Let's get down there and zoom in. So again, this is the patience of waiting, because even though gold seems like it wants to fall, this could be another opportunity to buy, and this thing, takes off to the sky. You know what I'm saying? Again, news was bad for the dollar, so typically gold will rise. So let's bring out Fibonacci. Okay, we have our high, we have our low, and our low, and then our high, sorry. And here we are, we're rejecting 38 right now. I'm going to put a few alerts on gold to really try to see what we can do. All right, so um, from Fibonacci, saying, hey, we could push down to maybe here and then begin to rise. Guys, it's going to be a very tricky morning, because dollar didn't really do anything significant to get us to go ooh and ah, right? You know what I mean? It's just crawling right now. So we do have a chance to really kind of look and mark up everything, all right? So give me a moment, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and, start marking up the rest of our majors, and seeing what opportunities we have on those and which ones look best to get into for a trade. If you guys have questions or comments, please go ahead and drop them in the section, and I'll take a look at them and give you guys some answers. All right. But for right now, things are slow. All right. But here we go. I'm just gonna mark it up so you guys can see how that's, what that's like. Okay, this is the odd dollar. Okay, our dollar is still bullish, guys. Um, it broke yesterday's high right about here. So it broke it, went up, and now it's just pulling back. So it's back within the range of yesterday's range of the high and the low here. But it's pushing back, it's in a pullback, right? And it's already in our golden zone of Fibonacci. So this looks promising for a buy opportunity. All right, so putting on my long position, and I want to get into it with something like this off that 61 Fibonacci level, and taking my stop below here, that's 44 pips, take it up to where Fibonacci tells me to, and that's 105 pips, and the easy 1 to 2 risk to reward. All right, so our dollar looks bullish. All right, and I'll be looking for that sell. I'm sorry, for that buy. Let me put the alerts to let me know if it hit this area. Again, I can do this prematurely, which is I can do a buy limit at the 61.8. All right, buy limit is you want price to go down first and then put you in for a buy at that price, and then you expect price to rise from there. The only problem with that is that you don't really know if the bulls have shown up for confirmation. So you're getting into it just a bit prematurely from a confirmation standpoint. All right, doesn't mean that you won't win it. All right, because it can pull down and pull down and pull down, but as long as it doesn't hit your stop and decides to reverse, you're good to go. All right, but our dollar definitely looks really good. The structure is very clean. All right, and it looks like it's going to rise. So even from the 4-hour time frame, you guys can see, it's even cleaner. All right, so I'm really going to keep my eye on the odd dollar because structure is very nice, very, very nice on the odd dollar. All right. So skipping over to euro again, same kind of situation. It's just, we got the run and here's the pullback that looks like a falling channel. And again, a falling channel is a bullish reversal pattern. So looking at it from the 2-hour time frame, maybe it looks a little clearer, a little better. All right. Um, I mean, it is what it is, but technically this is like a little support area right here. All right, so we may do a little hunt as we come out. Boop, grab that and then take off. All right, so we just need to be patient. All right, let's look at the 15, see if there's any cracks in that channel. All right, here it is. And I see a nice little order block. Okay, right there. All right, boom. So, guys, euro dollar is looking very good for the buy as well. And when I see this, right, this is confluence, right, a falling channel, which is a bullish reversal pattern uh, at in the intersection of a order block, right? A bullish order block to the upside. So pretty much what this says is that last time that price was here, it took off, right? So we came all the way back to that same exact area, and now we're expecting price to do the same exact thing that it did. So, you know, with um, with trading, guys, it's all a game of zones. All right. So here's one zone to the bottom, or where's your zone to the top? It's up here. This is your last bull candle before price just started coming down. So instead of putting it as an order block, I'm just going to mark it here as a little line of liquidity. So last time we were here, we got up to here. We pushed back down to here, and what do you expect price to go now? Especially with news being bad for the dollar, right? The dollar should fall. That should cause the euro to rise, all right? And the dollar's still in bearish market structure, even though it looks like it was just pulling up for a little bit, right? That's all a part of the pullback, and that's what you guys have to remember and always keep in mind so that you don't get tricked off of, your trades, all right? But here, when we do a little measurement, right, we're looking at that's 30 pips to the upside. But again, we're on the 15-minute. So what you need to do is you need to back out to the higher time frame, right? And you need to look for swings to the left. Where's the next high to the left? It's way up here. All right. So here is where you'll put your little resistance area. Again, that is liquidity. And now we can do a measurement from there where we were roughly, you know, here, that's 89 pips now to that high. And that's easy, for Euro USD within a day or two. Okay. But guys, just look at the structure: rising, pulling back, rising, pulling back, rising, pulling back, rising, pulling back. So it's time to rise. All right. Guys, these non-dollar based pairs, meaning every currency that's on the left of the dollar, right? It's not the base, or the dollar's not the base, rather. So non-dollar base pairs are looking very, very bullish. Our dollar looks very bullish. Euro dollar looks very bullish, and we can get into the nitty gritty here on the lower time frame to see if it breaks out of this channel. All right. If you guys don't know anything about channels, again, they represent bullish reversal patterns, but you need to see it break out of the channel, and then you need to see it retest the channel, and then you need to see bulls show up. So when you see this structure, it's basically telling you that, hey, we're about to start a push up, and we're showing you that we're respecting this old channel as, where it was once resistance. We're respecting it as support now because we're not getting any lower, right? And now we've shown you that, more bulls have shown up. So you've gotten everything that you need to see out of this channel in order to take the trade. So if you guys have been studying chart patterns, this is what you want to see off a falling channel to take it for a buy. Okay. Some traders, they take it as a breakout. So once they see price come out of this channel, they don't wait for the pullback, which we call the retest, and they don't wait for the bulls to show up. They just take the trade here and they put their stop loss here. So even with the pullback and the bulls showing up, it never took them out. You understand? So there's more than one way to skin a cat. But if you don't know what this represents and how this is supposed to play out, you'll never be able to play it properly. All right. So guys, please learn about your chart patterns. As a matter of fact, I'll drop a dime on you guys right now. So give me a second and I'll give you an awesome resource for your patterns. All right. And this will get you guys going. All right. Whoop, there it is. Okay. So check the chat, click on that link, study your patterns. All right. It'll get you where you need to be. All right. But again, all these are looking pretty good for the buy. So if my alerts start going off, I'm going to be a happy camper. And from a market structure standpoint, I'll probably get in for the buy. You know what I mean? Not, I wouldn't be really factoring news like that, right? We will, if it drops and does all of this because the dollar's rising, with that bullish divergence, we don't know how far up it's going to go. Again, it could just go to here and then, come on down. So it's not a full reversal. It's just saying bullish divergence is not saying that price is going to reverse and start going up. It's just saying that price is expected to go up, but how far, right? You know what I mean? And that's where structure comes in, and you can answer that question for yourself just by reading structure and knowing that, oh, here's a roadblock, there's a roadblock. So probably to get up to there first and then turn around, right? And that's what it is. But get a few more alerts on the dollar. Okay. And man, it's looking so good on the euro dollar. All right, let's go to the pound dollar. Oh man, pound dollar is looking good. All right, guys, we're about to have a field day. All right, around that 9:30, 10 o'clock time frame, with these majors. So they're all, falling at the moment, but structure's bearish. I mean, bullish. So here is yesterday's high. Okay, here is yesterday's low. Okay, we have fair value got way down there, but we're not going to factor that in. Push the alert up. There goes gold. What are you doing, gold? All right, we're pushing down. All right, so again, man, you know, it's gonna seem like gold is gonna fall, but again, it's just a pullback to the up move. So we got to be very, very, very careful. All right, but pound dollar, boom. Okay, let's see. Oh, sorry about that, guys. All right, boom, there we are. So again, look at the structure, guys, like stepping up the stairs. Run, consolidation, a little pullback, run, a little, consolidation, and then just moving up, 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 and now pulling back, 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 back to the area that we broke, most likely. All right. Again, we have a low, we have a high. Let's get out Fibonacci. This helps you read price and where determine where price is going to go. I just released a video yesterday, guys, on how to use Fibonacci. So please go and check that out if you haven't already, and it'll put you up on game for what Fibonacci is used for and how to properly use it to assess your trades, for opportunities to get in. All right, but here, we're almost in that golden zone. Well, we're in the golden zone, but we're almost near the 50 and the 61.8 to where price most likely will reject in this area right here because this is where we previously broke, right? Right there is where we broke to the upside. So again, it's pulling back and it's most likely going to get here. I hope you guys have been noticing that thing, okay, with breaks, right? So where was it on the euro? Let me see. Oh, well, let me switch. So again, broke here, came right back here, right? Euro dollar, odd dollar, broke here, probably will pull back to here. Okay, so again, price just does that a lot. You understand what I'm saying? So you'll see that time and time again, guys. Um, just trying to show you an example. So here's one right here, really quick. Okay, so look at this, right? We had consolidation, okay, right around this area. I'm going to show you guys just the whole concept that you'll see time and time again on the charts and why you'll become a believer that price will get back. Here's where price broke out of this consolidation to the upside. And look where it tested. Boom, came right back up. And one more time for good measures. Boom, and then took off. Okay? So when I tell you that price breaks a support or resistance zone or level, right, then you can pretty much have some kind of, um, you know, understanding, if you will, that it may come back to that same area to retest it as support and then take off. So this is why I'm excited to buy, these non-dollar based pairs like the odd dollar, the euro dollar, the pound dollar, New Zealand dollar, because of the structure of what it's telling me. And it looks really, really good, guys. So I won't be surprised if these take off later today or possibly even tomorrow. We do not have any news, any economic news tomorrow, but it doesn't matter. I'm going off of what the charts are showing me, and it's looking, again, really, really good for a buy. All right, so hopefully you guys understood, the break and the retest concept because it is very heavily looked at in trading. All right, and it's not just Forex. All right, but we now know odd dollar looks good for the buy. Euro dollar looks good for a buy. Pound dollar just needs to pull down a little more, but it still looks good for a buy. All right, I'll put my position on how I want to play this. I want to get into it from right there. I want my stop to be right there. That's a 57 pip stop loss. Okay, and I'm going for 135 or 37 pip take profit. All right, guys. So again, please mark these as your pairs to look at for this time. Yo, D, what's good, bro? Morning to you. Hope everything's good. Um, I don't know when you came in, but we're looking, we had news for the dollar this morning. Unemployment came out worse than expected, so that's supposed to be bad for the dollar, and that's supposed to push the dollar down. But as of right now, dollar's just been rising up, up, up. And again, it's because the chart is telling us that we have bullish divergence. But all of this is a bullish move. But, this is still just a pullback to the overall uptrend. I'm sorry, downtrend that we have here on the dollar. So dollar was falling, and then it's just pulling back. Once again, guys, to my point of where price breaks level, and look where it came right back to. Okay, so please believe me, there's something to that. All right, and the more you believe in it, the more you're going to start to see your trading improve. All right, but I am expecting dollar probably to push up a little more, and then we'll start to head down for the day. So as we push up on the dollar, we're going to get more of a pullback on these non-dollar based pairs, right, to hit these Fibonacci levels. And then once the dollar's done with its pullback and it starts to drop, these pairs will start to rise. So guys, got a lot of great setups on these non-dollar based pairs, within our major pairs. All right. So all of them looking really, really good. Set your alerts right now to, um, be notified when price is rising. So again, got to put your alerts above where price currently is, so that when it pushes up, you know that it's coming up. Right? Dollar's doing something, still just rising. But here we go. Um, New Zealand dollar. Okay, so here, all right, I'm gonna do this. And let's adjust our day. Yeah, so it took off yesterday again because the dollar fell. And there's your correlation. All right, guys, the dollar will set you free if you know how to read it and you know what it's related to. You'll bank, every single time because, um, it's very predictable. All right, and what these pairs are going to do when the dollar does whatever, right? You know what I mean? So here, we can see that we did not break yesterday's high. So maybe we're not going to go that high, or, maybe we're not going to push higher on the New Zealand dollar, as we've rejected yesterday's high. And now we're starting to fall down. All right. So when we come down to the lower time frame, again, we get to read price a little better. Okay. And say now it's more here for support. All right. And we can get rid of this. It's not in the picture just yet. Let's go like this. All right, we can bring that on in. All right, and here again, low of yesterday, the high of yesterday. So I said that we didn't break it, but we did, right? That's why you come to the lower time frame, you can see that. So this is an indication that we want to go higher, but then we're now just doing exactly what we're doing on the odd dollar, euro dollar, and the pound dollar. We're just pulling back. We have a low and we have a high. Let's grab Fibonacci. All right, so guys, get used to doing that. Again, it helps you read, structure better, and determine how far a price is going to pull back. Because in a uptrend, it has two phases, right? So again, let me illustrate it for you guys. In an uptrend, you have your run, you have your pullback. You have your run, you have your pullback. Some people call it, expansion, contraction. Some people call it um, run and retracement, right? They have all kind of terms for them, but technically it's only two phases, right? You're either going up or down, right? And they have names and nicknames associated with them, but the most common is run and pullback. All right. So again, we're in the run phase of an uptrend, okay, of an uptrend, and now here's the pullback phase of that uptrend. So again, the more you guys are able to identify that, the easier it is for you guys to make trading decisions. In a uptrend, look, you don't want to buy when price is rising, right? Who wants to buy when the price is high? No, we want the Jordans when they come on sale, right? So you got to wait for it to pull back. When you see it pulling back, okay, that's an indication that price is getting lower, right? So you're getting a discount, right? You're not buying high, you're getting ready to buy low. But now all you need to see is some bulls show up, right? To give you your V shape, right? Now that you have that, you know that the pullback is over, or most likely over, but pretty high chance that it's over with. And it's going to go into the run phase. That's how we do it, guys. Everybody who has ever made money off of buying any Forex pair, they bought it from the low and then it took off. They bought it from the low and it took off. They bought it off the pullback. They bought it off the retracement. They bought it off the retractment, right? There's so many terms for it, but that's how we make the money in the uptrend. We never buy here because the pullback's coming, so you lose. We never buy here right? The retracement's coming, so you end up losing if you don't have your stop far enough, right? So again, that's just how that goes, right? And it's the same for the downtrend, right? If we're looking at downtrend structure, here's your run, there's your pullback. Run, pullback. Notice run goes in the direction that you want it to, right? But the pullback goes in the opposite direction. And this is where you always want to get in from the pullbacks, never the runs. You want to get in from the pullbacks in the downtrend, which are here. They're all the lower highs. So you get a run. Okay, you see price drop. Don't fear, right? You're going to get your pullback. All right, that's good. You can use Fibonacci. You know how to do that. And now you can see, okay, the bears have shown up and it gave me the V shape. Oh, I'm selling. Boop, you sell there. You catch the rest of the run. And the pullback now, right? After this is where you sold it. So you get the run, you're in profit. And as it's pulling back, you're still in profit. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the beauty of knowing how to read market structure, knowing what phase you're in, and getting in from the proper phase. All right. So again, guys, if you want to learn how to do that, come on over to my Discord, right? The link is in my website. I'll pop the website here for you guys, and go ahead and please check it out. And come on over. I got a special going on right now. It's 50% off of all the subscriptions. I have weekly subscriptions for you guys, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually, and I have lifetime membership. So I got all the flavors that you could ever want. Just come on by and get in where you fit in, all right? But it's Forex with Bain.com. And again, guys, just click on the link to Discord, sign up, and the code for the discount is BBIDF 50. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So again, get in there where you fit in. Here again on the New Zealand dollar, I probably will get in from the 61.8, take it up to here. That's 103 pips, and I'll place my stop loss right below the the low of the previous day actually. So that's 58 pips. I'm gonna crank it up just a little more to get a 1 to 2, and boom, there it is. All right. But I really want to get in from when price drops to here. All right. But get some alerts set on the chart, and we'll see how it goes. We're definitely going to take a look at those indices in just a second, because man, did we miss out yesterday. All right. So there's New Zealand dollar. All right. So pounds, we don't need those. Dollar CAD. Let's redo this. All right, and you guys can kind of see like it had this fair value gap that it's been respecting, but it looks like it, wants to break below. Either way, here is the previous day's low. Here's the previous day's high. All right, and we're just staying within that range for now. But what I see, right, again, yes, we're still in a bit of an uptrend. All right, I know it's hard to see, but all of this is really just a pullback to this fair value gap and this order block that sits over here. So the dollar CAD still looks bullish, right? But it's a little mixed because right here is where we kind of had a bit of a level, right? And now you can see that we've just slightly switched, okay, from holding this area as support to breaking it and now respecting it as resistance. So this is going to be a tricky one, but again, it's in the mix, right? It looks like it can go up and it looks like it can go down. So, we just need to wait until price shows us, hey, what do you really want to do, right? So if it starts to fall down, and especially if it breaks the previous day low, okay, then this will go, it's going to fall, right? It'll probably get to here and maybe here. And to be honest with you guys, I don't really want to trade dollar CAD because it's so mixed and it has so, the areas are so tight that I don't see, oh yeah, it's going to get all the way down here or it's going to get all the way up here. It's very, tight, if you will, and it's bunched up. There's no real spreading throughout your price action to tell me, okay, yeah, we're going to get a big drop or we're going to get a big run. But, we can still get us, we can get something, right? You know what I mean? If you really want to trade it. And so here coming down to the 4 hour, we can see how things look a lot more clear, right? So, push the real estate. We don't take up too much. And guys, we have a break. What did I tell you guys, right? Earlier. Notice how it just keeps showing up. Watch this. This is where we, come on now. All right, here, this is where we broke. and we pushed on down like we were going to go. But no, what did we do? We came right back to the same area that we broke, and now we're getting ready to push down. Guys, it's beautiful. Okay, so now, again, I have alerts to let me know that it's falling, and if it does, we could get a position, you know, even like this because we're selling high from right here with a tight stop loss right above the previous day high, right? That's the way to go. And then you go for your 1 or 2, which is right there. And then we look left. What do you know? Right at this support area. Okay. And really, it's a little bit of a zone. So you can do it like this, right? Right. Catch that wick. But you can clearly see how we can easily get to that level from here. And let's do another little Fibonacci from, let's take it from this high. And we'll bring it down to the low, and there you go, right? So maybe a little push a little higher and then a drop, but ultimately, we'll let the alerts guide us, right? As we start to get some bears to come in, even, if we get it to go a little higher, right? Because that'll be better to catch it from when it pushes up, right? But I can see, we can easily get what Fibonacci says, right? So that's 97 pips to the downside. So as much as I didn't want to trade dollar CAD, it looks like there's opportunity there. You understand what I'm saying from the structure standpoint? So again, guys, you know, if things line up, take it, right? You can't be scared, all right? You won't make anything, all right? Over to, let's see what odd dollar's doing really quick because it did go off. All right, pushing down a little more. All right, and that's good because we're getting ready to buy it at a discount. That's all that really is. All right, and looking at dollar. Yep, so dollar's now at the 50 and it's rejecting. I'm going to put a few alerts below it. Okay, and push this one there. All right, and we'll let it fly. All right, so that's good. But now, so off that dollar CAD, we got dollar CHF, which is the one that mimics the dollar uh, mainly. So here is our low. All right, here is our high of yesterday. We can get rid of this. We can get rid of that. All right, looking at it again, it still looks bullish, right? As we have our run, pullback, run, consolidation, run, consolidation, run, consolidation, run, and now we have a pullback, consolidation, and we're just dropping slowly, very, very slowly. So we're still not out of the woods from it being, bullish, okay? But it is dropping, ever so slightly, okay? So you can see that here is still support, all right? And we can end up rising from here. So there's no telling, right? But now that's on the daily, all right? We break it on down to the lower time frame, and now we can kind of see, just a little bit more. Let me get this in for you guys. And all right, let's bring that real estate on back. Okay, I think it's more like that. Okay, and here's the high. Just a little. All right, so on the dollar CHF, we did have a push where we broke that support, and now we're pulling back. So again, I'll bring out Fibonacci from the high to the low, and look, we've broken below, broken above it. So let me see if it's on this high. All right, it looks a little better, but um, here is where you can really kind of see what's what. Right there. All right. So we broke this low right here. And one more time, guys, understand there's our low, right? Then we broke it in the same area, right? We pushed down and then look where we pull back to, guys. Right back to that same area. Okay? When we look left, last time we were here, we dropped. So we rose up to it. So I'm expecting another drop. All right? So I'm going to set alerts for that. And guys, it looks like the dollar should fall, right? Um, but time will tell. We just got to see the bears show up. Again, we need that V shape because again, this is, that's the run. Here's the pullback. All right, and this structure. All right, you got to know how to read structure. If you know how to read it, you're good. If you don't know how to read it, sign up. All right, and I will teach you. All right, but here it is. Take it down to like the 15-minute just to see all the nitty gritty details. All right, Asian session, we didn't do much, came out of it, took out, well, we didn't take out the low's down here, but we pushed down and now we came up. And here, for me, would be, where your opportunities lie, right? I see an order block here, a little fair value gap right around there, even though that was balanced out already. But this is what, most likely is going to be the outcome is a drop, right? And you can get away with a tight stop loss, above here. That's like 10 pips, right? Or you can put it behind the previous day's high, right? And that's 25 pips. That's a lot better. It'll help you survive any little hunt that it wants to make. Aim for your 1 to 2. And that's all she wrote, right? 50 pips on dollar CHF. Easy money, all right? Let's go ahead and do it a little tighter. All right, boom. All right, and already getting alerts on it, already getting rejection from that resistance area. All right, we can bring this all in. All right, so we'll wait on that. But it's looking pretty good, guys. So dollar cat looking good for a sell. All right. All of our non-dollar based pairs are looking good for a buy. USD technical analyst, the first breakout attempt fails. So it tried to, again, break out of the trend, right, that it was in, the downtrend. But, it's saying, hey, wasn't much there, right? And this is what they're talking about, the move up, right? It didn't really rise. It just pulled back, right? So again, guys, it's funny how, a lot of these news alerts are right on time, with our lives and what we're talking about, because it is what it is, right? If you know how to read it, it's always like the news is delayed. You're the real news. You know everything, and then somehow the news finds out later, and it just, tells the world, right? It's like telling Cole's mama, right? You already know what it is, but you told Cole mama, now everybody knows, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm getting at with just being able to read, right? You'll be ahead of the game. And typically, we always see what it is before news comes out anyway, right? That's just how it goes. But this is looking really good, right? Sell on the pound CAD, sell on the dollar CHF, and dollar JPY. We didn't mark it. Let's do it now, and then we'll go take a look at those indices. So again, gold may rise as much as I wanted it to fall. It may still rise. Okay. So high and low of the previous day. I'm going to erase this for now, and I'm going to erase that for now. And let's go. Now here on the daily, you guys see how, again, just been rising. But here's where we had a little bit of a change. So from this high, we pushed down and we made a lower low, right? We broke this low, we made this lower low. Now we pushed up as a pullback and we made a lower high. So right now, this is a run and a pullback, and now we're in the run phase, all right, from this daily time frame. So it looks like, we can continue going down. So let's get rid of all of this and we'll just go to the lower time frame and see what we got going on. All right, so here on the 4 hour, there's where we broke the previous day low, and now we've retested it, but we came back into it. So we're back in the range of where, where price was, what price action was yesterday. But it's all just a pullback. Again, this is a run, this is a pullback, right? So we have a high and we have a low. What can we do? Fibonacci. There it is. And right at the 61.8. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is about time to sell the USD JPY, right? And here is where we had a little bit of a break right there, right? So again, We had it as support, respecting, rejecting. You're seeing all of these wicks, right? We pushed up, right? But then something happened and we pushed down. We broke this area. And here's the lesson one more time. There's this area. We broke that area. And now we're right back at that area, guys. All right. This is looking very, very good. All right. For it to drop. So all the dollar base pairs, right? The ones that have the dollar on the left, all right, they're all looking good for sells, all right, and all the non-dollar based pairs, that have the dollar on the right, they're looking good for buys. So throughout the day, I'm just going to be waiting patiently to, get in with a very nice entry off of all of these uh, dollar based pairs, right, or major pairs. So here is how I would do my position on dollar JPY. Just like this, we're already selling it from the high, and we're getting it from an old support, now new resistance, and the 61.8. This is beautiful. So I see a little fair value gap above it, which is right here, and it may go to tap into that, but we're putting our stop way above the previous day high so that we can survive it, right? And there's a lot of fear in people when they do that, right? Because they don't want to risk a lot, right? They think they're going to lose that, right? This is 159 pips on the dollar JPY, right? Now, again, you can get away with this, right? That's 23 pips. You can try to play it like that. And again, I completely understand if you do. I might even do that, right? You know what I mean? Because if it just so happens to take me out, that's only 23 pips, right? It'll do its little dance, maybe up to this fair value gap and balance it out and then start to fall. And then I'll just get right back in. But if I don't want to have to worry about trying to get back in and what have you, then that's what makes me put my stop above here. So, dollar CHF, I mean, dollar JPY, go ahead, do whatever little dance you want to do. I'm going to be good. And then eventually you will turn around because that's what market structure pretty much says, right? Anything where you're pressing up, you're just hunting, right? You're trying to get stop losses. Where are the stop losses most likely at? Where they're above this fair value gap and above the swing high, the previous day swing. Because think about it, if you sold from the high, which is what you want to do, right, then your stop losses are above that. So they know that. And if they want to manipulate, basically say, hey, let's get all the retail traders to think that we're going up. Push it up. All right. Put a big order in for USD JPY for a buy. All right, boss, you got it. Starts pushing up, pushing up. Everybody's like, oh shit, it's going up, it's going up. Everybody starts buying, and all of their stop losses are now down here because they're buying. So they're like, all right, boss, we got them. Everybody's committed long, right? All right, pull the rug. All right, you got it, boss. 1 trillion order, sales order on USD JPY, and then kaboom, it tanks, right? But again, guys, manipulation, is something that I teach and we go into very heavily so you guys can understand how the game goes. All right. But again, a huge stop loss is typically better than a tight one, even though a lot of times you can get away with a tight stop loss, right? If you've gotten in at the right timing, those things, right? So we look at the 15-minute time frame, right? We want to see if any bears have shown up from this resistance area. And what we can see is that we got nice rejection. And I think these are tweezer tops. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's something to that nature of what it's called, right? Tweezer tops. So you guys can Google that and take a look at that and what it means. But simply, uh, it is a bearish indication, all right, when you have these two candles of almost the same size with the wicks like this above it, all right? So again, the wicks above showing rejection of buyers, right? Buyers tried to push it up. Seller said, nah, we're good, all right? Push it down. So again, I'm looking for these alerts to go off, and I will definitely get into USD JPY and almost everything, right? So you got options today, guys, right? You don't need all of them, right? Look at which ones are best, right? You know what I mean? Which one can you get more bang for your buck? USD JPY looks like the one, right? That's 361 pips to the downside. Dollar CAD is 51 pips, right? I'm sorry, dollar CHF is 51 pips. Dollar CAD is 97 pips, right? So, pick one of those, dollar CAD or dollar JPY, right? I'll do dollar JPY, right? That's a major one. Out of the odd dollar, right? We got what is it? 105 pips, euro dollar. I didn't measure it, or I didn't put the position. 1 second. Okay, look at that rejection of the order block, guys. We're probably going to head up on euro dollar, all right? But let's do buying low, take it up, and that's only 30 pips, all right? So euro dollar doesn't look ideal, right? But um, pound dollar, all right, this looks better, and that is 137 pips. Guys, pound dollar usually is always the one that does more, all right? The pound pairs, they just move. So pound dollar out of all the non-dollar based pairs looks like the best one. Odd dollar is probably runner up with, yeah, 105 pips. So out of the odd dollar and the pound dollar, pick one, right? You don't need, and again, you could do both of them because they all, they're all brothers and sisters. If one moves one way, they all move that way. But you don't need to overdo it, right? Keep it simple, guys, and that'll keep you in the game, all right? But pound dollar, odd dollar, dollar CAD and dollar JPY is what you want to be looking at today, right? That's four pairs, and you get in all four of those, but that's it for the day, right? Don't overdo it. All right, gold. So gold's pulling back, but it's rejecting the 50 Fibonacci. So I'll bring the alerts down and let us know, when it starts to move and groove a little more. So we might have to buy gold, but I'm very, it's very touchy, very, very touchy on gold at the moment. All right, so not going to make a move just yet, but I will be looking to throughout the day. So here, I just want to get that. It's as resistance right now. Okay. All right, guys, the big boys. All right. NAS, US 30, and all of those. Let's get those in the mix. Okay. All right. Oil went up. And I think this is going to be a great buy on oil because dollar should fall. All right. And dollar is bearish. And yeah, this is a great buy on oil, guys. So here, position. Okay. And this is a stop below the previous day low. That's almost okay. I see. So here and taking it up to here. That's a $7 move on oil, and that is a $3 move to the downside. So if we lose it, we lose 300 pips. If we win it, we win 700 pips. Oil is ready for the buy. Now it just broke yesterday's high, so we needed to kind of retest. All right. So let's look at it here from this time frame, and now you guys can really see, what I mean. All right, and here is a fair value gap once that candle closes of where we are now, but this is what it's beginning to look like. All right, so again, we had a low and we had a high, so let's see what Fibonacci level this pulled back to. It was the 38.2, right to the T, and it took off. So again, as we're looking for it to come all the way down, it doesn't always do that, right? There was a fair value gap here that it never tapped into, and it was right in the golden zone. All right, so just goes to show you that not all the time, it'll do what you want it to, and it just took off. So oil again, guys, is a good play, but you want to grab it from here, right? So again, remember this is the area that we broke, right? I'll take off Fibonacci, it's a little too much, but here's where we broke, right? We broke it here, right there. We pushed up, so now we want to come back to this, and it will, or typically it does. Let's put it that way, right? So set some alerts here, and you can even make your alert say, hey, get in now, right? Just help yourself remember what it is that you're trying to do and make it work, right? But there is your position, And again, risking about a $2 move, so 200 pips on oil for a nice, we'll take it to here, right? 7 is pushing it. So let's take it to this high right about there. And that's a $5 move. So that's a 1 to 2 on the money. And again, that's 500 pips to the upside. All right. So again, oil is looking very, very good for a buy. Just need to get a little bit of a pullback and then get into it for your buy. All right. I know we don't really, let me see, on the 30-minute, 15-minute. All right. So we don't really have, the high hasn't been set yet. So we can't really put a Fibonacci on just yet. But still, we're just wanting price to come back to this fair value gap, this price of 79.11, and then we want to get in for that buy. So things are developing nicely, slowly, but still developing nicely. So we're going to have our opportunities pretty soon. It is 9:30, so the stock market is open. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, on NAS. All right. Again, dollars falling, and NAS already looks like it's getting ready to rise. So looking at the top stocks in NAS, Tesla is the major one, right? And it's already, open negative, but I can see this turning positive because it's not a big negative. Amazon is up. That's another big mover. Everything else is up. So it's just Tesla being down, but I think Tesla can turn around. So let's grab it from the higher time frame and really see what we can get out of this. All right, kaboom. And we'll leave that. All right, guys. So we've already broken yesterday's high, right? Oh no, we're respecting it right now. So we'll see. Okay. And setting some alerts. But again, we are just at where we are yesterday's high. I'm going to get rid of this order block. All right. But what I will do is just put a little line right there to show you guys that, again, we've broken a high. So we're probably going to drop down here first before we get that push up. All right. One moment. Okay, dollar is doing something. All right, it's pushing up. So all the other pairs are pushing down a little bit. And again, this is simply why we wait, right? But once the dollar starts pushing down, oh, it's a go. All right. So over to oil. Oh, no, I'm sorry, NAS. All right, and coming on down. So push it to here. All right, and get our low right about there. Right, so alerts all in the mix. Okay, so again, we got to just read, right? Here's a fair value gap. This is the closest one that we have. Looks like it almost balanced that out. Share there, and another little alert. Okay, get some here. All right, now we have a low and we have a high. Fibonacci, there it is. So look, Fibonacci saying, hey, it should really come down into this area. Again, I tell you guys, our bias is to buy because the dollar looks bearish, right? But whenever we're going to buy anything, um, it typically manipulates low, first, or to the downside first before it pushes up. All right. So even with this move, right, where we broke the support area, this old resistance, now support, I'm expecting it to get to here, right? And that's what we need to wait on. Now, it may not even do that. It may not get to here. It may just respect this fair value gap and start to rise up. Well, that's what the alerts are for, right? So if I get a situation where it just starts taking off, well, then I can already kind of visualize how I want to take that, right? I want to take it from the fair value gap, stop right below it. That's only 44 points on the NAS, right? And then I'll take it up to where Fibonacci tells me, right? 280 points on that, right? That's how I would take it. But really, it'll be like this. It won't be there because it'll be pushing up. So it'll be like that. I still have a 1 or 2. right? And then I can still place a pending order right here at this level. So you right click, trade, new order. Oh, this is 1 second, but we can do it with the long position just like this, right? We want it there, and we want to stop below the previous day. That's 183 points. But again, it's just, the price you pay to cash out. All right. Here is 404 points to the upside, but that's only if we get the drop and it activates your buy limit order at this price. All right. But um, indices look like they're going to rise. All right. Again, all of the major companies in NAS are, with the market open, they're in the green. All right. Now, these can easily turn to red. Now, don't get it twisted. All right. Because Tesla is the biggest mover out of these and it's red, in opening. So expect some sort of drop. Right. But then, we just need to wait. Right. Once the day gets, 10 o'clock, 10:30, things will settle and you'll really know what's going on. And then you'll be able to make that decision. So yes, the early bird gets the worm. We're up and we're trying to get to it, but things just aren't ready yet. All right. So, um, we just got to wait a little more. All right. US 30. All right. And again, here are the top companies in US 30. Right. So United Health, they open green. Goldman Sachs, they're red. Home Depot's red. Visa's red. I'm sorry, green. But you guys can see. So this mix. So we don't really know what's going to happen. Right. And we just got to play it by what the charts show us. All right. So um, one moment, and let's get jiggy with this. Okay, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for me. All right, Dollar Cat is doing something. We'll check it out in just a second. Okay, it's just pushing up. FX options wrap, FX trend, JPY calls. So they're expecting the JPY to go up. All right. So they're talking options here. If people are buying calls on JPY, that means they think that it's going to go up. So on the dollar JPY, if they're thinking the JPY is going to go up, then that's going to weaken the dollar, right? It's going to push this pair down, which is our bias on it anyway. All right, we're pushing up a little bit, so we'll just adjust our position. But again, guys, dollar JPY looking like a play. It's just I think we're probably going to tap here and then start to head down. All right, but let's just get these alerts up a little just in case. I'll put one up there. All right, but back over to US 30, and we broke above the high. Right, just barely. Right, barely we broke above it. But again, we're pulling back. So we got the high, we got the I'm sorry, we got the low, we got the high, and we're gonna go ahead and do our Fibonacci. Okay, so this is where we're expected to pull back to before we push up. All right, I'm gonna get rid of this order block from the higher time frame. It's just taking up a lot on this time. Here's a fair value gap here as well. So again, we basically take this into consideration of where price most likely is going to get to before it starts to rise. All right, get a few alerts set on it so we can always come back and check on it and just kind of see what it's doing. I'll get it here just in case it goes there. Get a few to the above price just in case it decides that it wants to start taking off and it doesn't want to do any balancing out for the time being. Um, but I would like a position like this right in the middle because it's right here where we broke a level. All right, right there. All right, so here, and again, that's acting as support. So that's where I want to get in because that's where I expect it to pull back to because we've been seeing that all day today with price breaking a level, coming right back to it and taking off from that level. All right, that's 600 point move on US 30. All right, guys, you can have a a great day today, right? But we just got to be patient and wait for this to play out, and we'll definitely get to the bag. All right. Now, last but not least, guys, is SPY. Again, if there's any pair that you guys want to take a look at, please, make sure to pop it in the chat, and we'll take a look at it. But um, this will wrap it up off of SPY, and you guys will know, how to go about your day, right? Looking to buy non-dollar based pairs. They're pulling back, they're getting at a discount. You're looking to sell dollar based pairs, all right? Gold is a little mixed, right? It seems like it can kind of go either way, but if the dollar drops, gold will definitely rise, all right? um, on the indices, Nas looks bullish, right? But we want to see the drop first. All right. US 30 also looks bullish, but we want to see the drop first, right? The manipulation happens before the actual intended move. Always remember that, guys, right? That's how you have so many pissed off traders all around the world, right? They're like, God damn it, they took my money, but it went in my direction. Well, how did you let that happen, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just because you didn't understand the manipulation, right? How the market's manipulated. You don't get into Forex or anything really without really knowing, just knowing how it works, all together. You got to get in there, you got to get burnt, you got to lose, right? You got to take all these L's, and then you start understanding. Then you start seeing the game, and that's what makes you stronger, all right? So if you're one of those individuals who's so scared to lose, then you're never going to win. All right, bars. Just please uh, understand that's a major, major part of winning is losing. All right. So yes, we don't like to lose money. Nobody likes losing. It's not a pretty thing, but it is the only thing that will get you right. You understand? Nobody comes into anything just automatically winning. If they tell you they do, then that's just a lie. All right. But bullish on Nas, bullish on US 30, just, expecting some sort of pullback first and then the rise. So I'm expecting probably the same thing on SPY, right? So again, we're hugging the previous day's high, all right? And it looks like on the lower time frame, we did kind of break above it, but let's do our homework here. All right, so there's our high, and here is our low. Okay, and plenty of fair value gaps. There's one here, there's another one down here, right? And then you have your order block sitting here. Okay, so now again we have a high and a low, Fibonacci, and this is where it's expected to go, right into this fair value gap. So here to here, right? There's your place where you want to be looking for your opportunity. Okay, but there's another one here. So, I made a video on fair value gaps and which ones are better to trade from. All right. What time frames are the best ones, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So I really break it down, guys. Go check that video out. But here, because, we have these two fair value gaps, which one are we going to do? Right. Well, it's going to get to this one before it gets to this one. That's just a fact. Okay. But this one is at the discount. This one is really giving you, you know, uh, a good price to buy it from the low, right? And then, take it up. But will it get to here? We don't really know, right? Fibonacci says price is only most likely just going to get in this area, right? So the way you want to play this, guys, is just have two positions, right? You got one here, right? You can have you can go about it a lot of ways, but here's one of the ways, right? You can get, right up in here, right? Right about there. So really, you kind of want it at the 50, right? So I'll do it like that, the 50, and then you put your stop here, right? That way you survive, even if it happens to go and tap into this one, right? And then you put a second position, right? Right here in the middle of that fair value gap with your stop right about there, all right? And really you can kind of do this off of that position. Well, no, keep it behind the low of the day and then take it on up to where Fibonacci says, and that's all she wrote. That's how you want to do that, guys. All right. Position here at the 50, right? Gets you in. And, that might just be it, right? It may push down to the 60 a little bit, may even come and tap this, but guess what? You're still alive, right? You're still going to be in that trade. And then even if it does that, you're going to get in another position with a even better discount and the opportunity to make way more. So whatever little loss you might have made as it's coming down to here, you're going to make it right back up with this position. Guys, it's a beautiful thing. All right. But that's what we got going on today. Things seem like it's moving a little slow, but I feel like it'll pick up either later today, and if not, possibly tomorrow. Now, if things don't pick up tomorrow, then obviously, we have to just wait until next week to see what we need to see. But everything's looking really, really good. Is that a double bottom on US 30? Might have been a different chart. Let me take a look around. Um, US 30. Okay. Was it on a higher time frame or a lower time frame that you saw ghosts? Okay, so on US 30, this is a double bottom, yes. So if you're talking about this, you're absolutely right. That was a double bottom. Okay, but yeah, I mean, if it was US 30, then I do see that here, that double bottom broke the neckline, completely took off. Look at that. Oh, uh, so NAS is starting to rise. Okay, let's go and take a look at the dollar and just to see, what's really going on. All right, dollar's at that fair value gap, and I'm going to set some alerts just to see if it's going to start to fall or if we're going to rise a little more. Yeah, no problem, Ghost. You got it, bro. And again, we're going to get together for, what we got going on as, things progress a little more. But for right now, it's just slowly setting up and, it's looking good. Everything's looking good. It's just not quite ready yet. All right, so here on the dollar, guys, there's a whole pullback right into that fair value gap, right? And um, we're probably gonna tap in the middle, start falling. So once we get back below this red line, it's a go. All right, because that's going to be a bear candle that closes, and then our position. We're not trading the dollar, but there's some brokers that allow you to trade it as a future, right? And this is pretty much how you want to go about that position on the dollar. Taking it on down to like the support level, right? That's a $4 move. Wait, is that? No, sorry, that's not even a dollar move. This is 15-cent move. This is 62-cent move. But that kind of move on the dollar, again, Fibonacci says, hey, go all the way down here, right? So that's a dollar move on the dollar, no pun intended, right? But that kind of move will send gold skyrocketing, Nas, US 30, you name it. Like everything that we've been looking at today, this morning, will, take off to the moon. So, guys, you have your plays ready to go. Just to recap, we're looking for buys on the non-dollar based pairs, R dollar, Euro dollar, pound, New Zealand dollar. Looking for sells on the dollar based pairs, dollar CAD, dollar CHF, dollar JPY. Dollar CAD and dollar JPY are the ones that really look like they're going to give us a good drop. All right, we're a little mixed on gold, but I think it's going to rise, especially if the dollar falls. Um, but be careful with gold. We might have to stay away from it, but just be careful. Oil is definitely looking good for the buy. We're already getting our pullback, right? We're starting to come back to that fair value gap. So again, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for that, right? And you stop below the previous day low. That way you can survive all the little pullback and push down that it's making, because it may come to balance out this gap before rising, right? But oil looking good for the buy. NAS looking good for a buy. US 30 looking good for a buy. Just wait for the pullback. All right, let's just get it on down, right? Wait for, to get into a discounted area, all right? And it will happen even if you don't think it will. We don't know when it'll happen, but the way that the cycle of price works, it typically will happen. All right, putting it that way. All right, so looking for the buys there. Maybe you can probably scalp it on to the downside. You'll get a good move out of this, right? There it is, 100 and 200 points to the downside. You understand what I'm saying? And then you flip it and catch it right on to the upside. All right. And then again with SPY, same situation. We're waiting for it to drop, but maybe you might want to scalp it to the downside, 44 points, 50 points, 60 points to the downside, and then turn around and catch it going up. All right, so that's how we're rocking today, ladies and gentlemen. Again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for me. I appreciate you guys waking up and giving me your time. I hope y'all have a great morning, and I will see y'all in the meantime. All right, it's your boy. Peace.